Here inside the Wells Fargo Arena in Philadelphia as we get closer and closer to tip-off of the Sweet 16 game between Wisconsin and Notre Dame, joined by the voice of the Badgers, Matt Lepay. And Matt, the Badgers back in this spot again. What's it going to take for them to advance?
Continue to play the terrific defense that the Badgers have been playing. Let's face it, they don't get to Philadelphia without D'ing up the way the Badgers have. And rebound. They played two really good rebounding teams in Pittsburgh and Xavier, and the Badgers actually had a slight edge on the glass. So continue to do well at the defensive end, continue to rebound well, and then one of the obvious ones here is to get Nigel Hayes going. Everybody knows how good he can be on the offensive end. To his credit, he has done a lot of other things. Defensively, he's gotten some rebounds. He'll get you a couple, 3 dimes every game, but you know he can start making shots. I just had the feeling that this is the time he's going to start doing it.
Hopefully, yeah, the Badgers could really use his help on the offensive end. But you mentioned Nigel's defense. The whole team's been playing great defense. What did you see from them the last couple rounds that allowed them to step up the defense like that?
Well, I think this is a team that has really become pretty tough during the course of the year. And that's been really a calling card of this team for a number of years, the toughness, the mental toughness, and physically not afraid to stick your face in there. They've been able to squeeze down driving lanes a little bit, which they're going to have to do against Notre Dame. Notre Dame's really good at spacing the floor. They also have a lot of good shooters. And then they have a tough guy inside named Zach August who can put them on the floor. He can do different things. He's not an outside shooter necessarily, but he can definitely score. He's got a lot of strength to him, and he's a rebounding machine. So the Badgers, to your question, they're going to have to continue to do what they've been doing, be able to, in this case, probably be able to guard the ball screen. We'll see a lot of that, I would imagine, from Notre Dame. But they've improved in that area. That's one of the interesting things about this Badger team. As much has been talked about with the swing offense being back, and it's true, but it's the work at the other end. Now we talk about Notre Dame being a good offensive team in terms of offensive efficiency. The Badgers now have become one of the best in defensive efficiency, and that'll need to continue.
Another ACC team at Notre Dame. You see it a lot like the Pitt game, maybe not necessarily score-wise, but how they match up?
You know what? It's a little bit different, Brandon, I would say, because I think Notre Dame can score a lot more effectively. You can see some 4-out, 1-in at times. Mike Brey has mixed and matched his lineup. He doesn't go deep. That's just not his MO from what we had seen compared to the Pitt team this year. The similarity is the same conference, but I think they play a little bit differently. Similar in the respect that they're not a big pace team. The North Carolina-Indiana game, that's going to be about pace. Notre Dame isn't a team that necessarily wants to run up and down the floor. It might pick its spots, but generally speaking, it doesn't do that. So I think you've got 2 really interesting games, 2 really good teams in the Badgers and Notre Dame. In the first game, they play their way, and then you have the Carolina-Indiana game, 2 really good teams that approach it differently. It's a real treat for a basketball junkie to be in Philadelphia this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. It all starts at 6:27 Central Time. Badgers and Irish tip off here at the Wells Fargo Center. For UWBadgers.com, I'm Brandon Spiegel.